Thank you guys so much for coming. We have a really interesting group of women artists here. Some of them, I mean, they range the spectrum. Some of them are, you might know them from museum shows across California. Others you might know from the gallery scene. And then some of them you may not know because they're street artists who may sneak out in the middle of the night and make the murals that you have seen, maybe on your way to work. But I'm going to let them introduce themselves in a sec. But first, I just wanted to say that I was really excited to do this panel for two reasons, and they're completely opposite. They speak to sort of opposite things going on. When one of them is how this show came together, and when Jamie asked me to do the show, I asked her why a show about women artists, and basically it was kind of an accident. You know, she said that she was putting together a show of the work that she loved by some artist that she loved. She's cobbling together work for a group show, and she realized like 3/4 of the way through that they were all women artists, just by chance. And I just thought that was so great because it speaks to how many women artists are out there who are really good, doing good work in the scene, and kind of how far women artists have come from, say, like the 80s or 70s. The other reason, on another note, is just that this topic of gender bias in the art world specifically has been really timely lately. I don't know if you guys saw Artillery Magazine is an art magazine, and they had an article this month called "Super Inequality in the art world." Basically, this artist Nicole Hedren was speaking out against basically challenging the gender ratio, and that got a lot of attention this month. At the same time, like as recently as 3 days ago, there was a big art critic who was in town who was promoting his book, and he gave a talk downtown. And it was a little controversial. He made some comments that ruffled a few feathers, and a few people felt he made some misogynistic comments. And that caused a big Twitter, like a storm of Twitter comments. It kind of sparked Twitter comments, and of course sparked my editor to call me at 8 in the morning the next day to I have to blog about this Twitter thing, which sparked chaos in my life for the next day, which is why my hair looks like this. But seriously, I meet a lot of artists when I'm out on the scene, and I hear them across the spectrum. I hear people telling me that, women artists telling me that they feel like they're being mentored more and more accurately represented and being given more opportunities in the gallery scene and by male artists and male gallerists than ever before, which is super cool to hear. And I also hear from women artists that I meet along the way gripes about like discrepancies in pricing structures, that complaints that sometimes male artists' work goes for more money. The collectors are collecting more male artists. Some women say they get gallery shows for the wrong reasons, for being cute without their work being seen. So I think it's an issue that's just shot through with polarities, and honestly, I have no idea where we stand. So I thought I would open it up to these guys.
Do you, as artists, think of yourself first as artist, or do you first think of yourself as a woman artist?
That's an interesting question.
Artist.
That was easy. One was.
Everyone said artist. I would say like human being first, artist second, female third, for sure, for me. But I know some people who identify with their gender before they identify with being human. So, I mean, a lot of these questions are so multi-onion layered, it's hard to take like culture, thousands and thousands of years of culture out of the discussion.
Well, I was going to say that's interesting because as a writer, I think of myself as a woman first, as a woman writer, because it's so central to my identity and how I express myself and how I see the world, and it's interesting.
I would say the same. I see myself as a female artist because my work is only based on I like to make work about my experiences or what I'm seeing or what is happening in society, and that is all through my eyes as a female, all through who I talk to as a female. So I think for me, being a female is an integral part of what I make and what I have to say.
I guess I just don't define it. That's the thing why I would say I'm an artist, because it's like that question you get asked, like, how does it feel to be a woman in the art world? Men don't get asked that question. So, when I'm asked if I'm a female artist or just an artist, art to me is breathing. I have to do it, otherwise I feel weird inside. So yeah, I don't separate my sex.
So we have 2 more questions, and then
well, I guess it's more a comment. I'm a woman judge, and I've been a judge for 30 years, and the first 10, I was always mistaken for my secretary. And what I was hearing and what I feel is that the worst thing that we do as women professionals is we squabble among ourselves. It doesn't matter whether you want to be sexy or you don't want to be sexy. What matters is, as women, we have to be better than best in our professions, and we have to stick together, and we have to mentor each other and appreciate each other for who we are. Because in a man's... Well,
that's my mom. Ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
That's my mom, yeah. She came all the way from Philly.
the best thing I did is have Debbie. She was my best accomplishment.
So embarrassing. Debbie. She's the only one who's allowed to call me that. Deborah. No one else here is allowed to call me Debbie. Deborah, your mom is badass.